Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. All right, looks like we have audio this time. All right, what's going on with these chicken starts here? I'm trying to go live here, especially on the audio side of things. All right, well, let's get started here. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Once again, live on Twitch. You're tuned in to another episode of Bose A31 Gaming, live on Twitch. And I'm playing Farming Simulator 25, and we're playing the base game edition, and we're playing on one of the base game maps in Farming Simulator 25. We are playing on the Riverbend Springs map. And once again, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. And again, before we really get started, get into it, I want to apologize first of all for the audio issues and the slightly delayed start here while we try to get those things ironed out. Don't know what the issue was there, but I was not getting any audio, so we literally had to kill the initial live stream, restart and come back in, and now it looks like we have our audio issues sorted out, and we are rocking and rolling. So with that being said, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, night, or whatever it is in your neck of the woods or in your part of the world. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Once again, Bose A31 Gaming is live on Twitch. Without much further ado, we're just going to hop right into it. As you can see from the month on the calendar here, we have advanced quite a bit since the last episode of the series. We've been running a few things off camera. When we last left, we were wrapping up on a pretty, what's the term I'm looking for here? Pretty tumultuous and somewhat bug-filled episode. And it was not that great of an experience on my last live. And it was very unusual because the weird thing about that episode is that day up until the point that I went live, and I had a few intermittent things that happened here and there, but nothing even close to what occurred during our live stream episode. And I don't really know what to say about that or what it was, or just really, it just kind of leaves me speechless because overall throughout the history of the Simulator games, you have encountered bugs here and there, even some stuff crazier than what we had on that particular night, but never from Farming Simulator 25. That was my first real experience with 25, with having something kind of major like that happen as far as bugs are concerned. And so up until that point, it had pretty much always been, minor stuff that I could kind of work around with, basic, in most cases, if nothing else, if I had to do a hard game restart or something like that. But with that particular issue, when we did a hard restart, it still was not able to clear the condition. It was, something different. Even though I did eventually figure out a solution to the problem, I still had to do a couple of things to kind of work that money back into my account. Because for those of you who did not tune in to the last episode, basically what happened is I was doing some logging in the game, and I encountered a bug where I had a situation where a log, literally a tree that I cut, literally got stuck in the air and attached or stuck to a silo, and it was up at suspended at a height, and you know, and on PC, I guess the guys, PC players have the ability to kind of fly, or at least have a mod that allows them to fly in the game or something to that effect. On console, we don't have that ability or can't install a mod that gives us that ability. And the tree was stuck at a height that's a not normally accessible by a console player without the ability to fly. Um, and well, anyway, just you'd have to look at last the last episode of the series to see exactly what I'm talking about. Long story short, and this is the silo right here. Long story short, I figured I had an idea because there's a mod that we have on console that is a elevated garage that has a little bridge set up that you or a ramp that you drive up and over. And what I did was I got my telehandler and I drove up and over, and I extended my telehandler as far as I could, and then had my character, my avatar, run up to the top of the extended telehandler arm, and from there, you know, whip out my chainsaw and try to cut the tree into pieces and hope that at some point, by me cutting the tree into pieces, it would break the connection between the tree and the silo. And that eventually worked. I had to kind of play with it a little bit, but we did. That was finally the solution that we got to kind of resolve that bug. Because had I not been able to clear that issue, I probably would have had to look at probably restarting this particular game and series, if you know, because I couldn't continue with that uh, stuff like that going on in the game. But other than that, because you know, it cost me a certain amount of money to buy that particular garage, if you will, or repair ramp. You know, I had to figure out a way to kind of put that money back in the game, and so I placed a government subsidy sign down. I made sure that I only earned the money back that I spent on that placement of that ramp, which was like $15,000. When I sold it back, I got it, you know, got at least half my money back immediately, but I still was short, you know, the other $7,500. I placed this government subsidy sign down, and that's how I got the other 7,500 back. Actually, I got $8,000 back because that's the increment on the subsidy. But so net gain was $500. So it's not like I really cheated or anything because I just netted a plus $500. Uh, Other than that, off camera we have advanced a month because that we were in the month of I think March going into April when that event occurred. We After we resolved that issue, we advanced a month, one more month into the month of April, and my grass had reached maturity. So off camera, we've mowed, harvested, and stored our grass for the month of April. We've been working contracts for the month of April. We sold a number of uh, products from our sawmill to the playground maker hall. In doing so, I discovered another issue that cropped up that wasn't happening before, but is happening now, and I don't know what the cause of this issue is. I'm assuming that it's probably a mod conflict between some of the mods I have installed. I just haven't had time to kind of walk it back and kind of test out to see what might be the cause of it. But as you know, we have the buildable pallets mod installed, and it makes all these types of pallets liftable allegedly. And I know for a fact, up until recently, every one of these wood pallets have been liftable. You see me do that in this live stream series. In fact, you see me do that on the last episode of this live stream series. But here tonight, as you can bear witness to, our standard pallet is not liftable. Its mass is 400 kilograms. The other two, well, that's another regular pallet. But while the other pallet here, as you can see, the wood beam is liftable because it has a mass of 100 kilograms. But But for some reason, the standard pallets that are coming out of the sawmill all of a sudden are not liftable pallets. So I don't know what might have happened that kind of broke the liftable pallets mod. I'm thinking what I might try to do is uninstall and then reinstall the liftable pallets mod and see if that resolves the issue. So if we have any pallets that are generated after the reinstall, if they become liftable again. If not, there may be some mod conflict I have with some other mod that I've installed within the last few days that has quote broken the liftable pallets mod. That's what I'm thinking that it is. I just don't know at this point, exactly which mod that would be that broke the liftable pallets mod. But the interesting thing about it is it only seems to have affected the planks pallet type and no other pallet types, at least as far as I can tell from right now, although I haven't tested every individual pallet type in the game at this point to see if there are some others, but so far the only one I found at this point seems to be the planks, the wood planks. All right, so we have some product here coming out of the sawmill, so we're just going to go ahead and load these on our trailer so we can take those over to the playground maker hall and sell those for income eventually. Although we're not going to do that right now. Right now we're just moving these out of the way to make clear space for more pallets to be generated. And like I said, it's not a big deal that these pallets are not liftable because I have the telehandler now to kind of fill that gap, and this is the way you were doing it if you were playing realistic anyways, but still it is a bit of a concern that the liftable pallets, at least part of the liftable pallets mod, has been broken by some reason or another. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab these two plank pallets and we'll stack them up here on our low loader trailer here, and we'll have them staged and ready to go for when we want to make another run to the playground maker. And we're just going to be working on these major projects that are on the map at this point in time. We got the sawmill rocking and rolling. One thing that we did address here as well is as I understand it, the grain elevator was updated in the last game update as well, so that the grain elevator had some issues, and that's why I didn't hadn't done anything with the grain elevator special project as well, because there were issues reported with that, and I didn't want to start messing around with that until that was updated. But from what I understand, and has been reported by it was in the patch notes and also reported and confirmed by a number of farming sim YouTubers, is that issue has been resolved with that project. So we might look at getting that project started as well, and dropping some pallets off over there as well. But I think we're, generally speaking, right now we're focused on feeding the playground project and the my brain just went blank. Sorry about that. Here, where are we at? The toy makers. Wow, the brain just went completely zero there. The toy tractor maker here. Because the recipe for the toy tractor, as you see, is 8,400 planks and 2016 long planks, and you get one toy tractor, and you get basically one toy tractor a month, because it cycles once a month. I'm not sure how much money we get from that one toy tractor. Um, we're running into an issue with the playground maker in that we need to have 12,000 rope before we can advance to the next stage of that project. I haven't quite figured out yet how I'm going to do that because I don't want to bankrupt myself buying rope right now because financially we're not in that position where we can do that yet. We're still trying to, you know, get our funds up and also build up the farm. The farm in its current state is not where we want it at either. So we're at the point now where we need to kind of get some cash flow going and get our balance back up. Um, and that's what we're doing now. And just in the background here, I'm running contracts, and we're back to unfortunately being contract simulator again. But that's kind of where we're at right now. At least things are, um, generally speaking, moving a bit faster now that we're at a certain point in the game. So that being said, here let's go back to our contracts page, and we still got some major contracts out here that we can work to kind of help us along. Our balance will definitely fire up those mowing contracts because every mowing contract is something I can literally uh, dial up an AI worker for, and then just drive them to the location, let the worker do his thing, and not have to sit there and walk through the process while I do other things. So those are great. The other two big number contracts there, the baling and the bale wrapping, those we will have to do manually. So those are a little bit different. All right, so field 12, set destination. Where's 12? It is kind of interesting that I see a majority of the same contracts are showing up at the same fields here. So that was kind of a thing in previous versions of Farming Simulator as well. Theoretically, you can have a contract on any field on the map, but it was always, even though there's technically supposed to be random, I always thought it was interesting how, even though it's quote random, most of your contracts still appear on the same fields or group of fields in the game, no matter how many fields are on the map. And you kind of get that here in 25 as well, even though it seems like the frequency of that happening has definitely been reduced, but it still does happen. All right. Let's see here while that guy's driving to that location. What else can we dial up here? Because we can have up to 3 active contracts at a time, and I just want to make sure that I'm kind of running through everything that I can kind of automate. That would do two different mowing contracts here. That was on 44. I'm trying to just make sure I knock out everything that we can have done automated before we start getting into the manual stuff. Because I got, as you can see on the board there, I got a few big money contracts I can take up, but those have to be done manually. So I'm trying to get the automated ones out of the way first before we jump into the manual ones. What was that field? That was Farmland 44. So let's go ahead and send. And I noticed that's one thing that has changed between now and the last update. The camera used to center on the location of the player when you jump to the map, but it no longer does that. I hope they kind of correct that because there's supposed to be another major game update coming. We don't have a date for it yet. We do know, based on recent announcements on the Giants website, that it will be within this quarter. Because Giants basically did a state of the game update to kind of apprise players of what's coming here in the first quarter, which I had kind of called. If you remember, on the last episode, I indicated that we're coming up on the middle of the quarter here, and Giants needed to make an announcement about where we're at with the next update or expansion, because that pack will need to be out and released before the end of this quarter. So they're running out of time as to make an announcement about that. Lo and behold, this week here we are. They went ahead and made that announcement. Kind of covered a number of things that not only as far as that upcoming pack is concerned, but also some other things that will be planned to be released during the first quarter of 2025. And just to give that again some quick coverage, some of the things they indicated that are coming in the first quarter include that you're going to have your first DLC pack that's included in the year one season pass. We're going to have a release of a free map, a remastered version of Silver Run Forest for Farming Simulator 25, and that was a Farming Simulator 22 map that was part of a DLC pack. We have the Farming Simulator VR that will be released during the first quarter of 2025. Of course, the previously mentioned patch, which will be patch 1.6. We have a free content update. It's called Content Update number 1. We also have a second free download of another remastered map that will be released in quarter 1. There will also be some unspecified patches and content updates. Those are all the things from quarter 1. Quarter 2, they had some teasers on things coming in quarter 2, including patches and content updates, precision farming, your second DLC pack announcement and release, and then some other unspecified announcements. So those are some things that were put out there on the roadmap for what's coming up next for the Farming Simulator series. You can find that information in detail on the, at least what detail they provided to this point on the Farming Simulator website. All right. My apologies there. While I'm talking, I got kind of sidetracked, and I just got workers sitting here idle when they're supposed to be doing things. So let's go ahead and get that rectified so we can kind of get this stuff going. And I was kind of hoping and expecting that I would be able to get some of this stuff knocked out off camera between episodes, so we wouldn't be just doing Contract Simulator again during the live stream. And unfortunately, those things didn't work out quite as planned, so apologies on that. But here we are tonight, trying to get it done and trying to get there. But we need to have some more money in the coffers before we can do some of the things we want to do, and that's just kind of where we're at right now, unfortunately. One other thing I did look at here, it's kind of taking into consideration off camera as I was going through some things, and I just want to, we want to go over here to the game settings, and just giving you again a quick review. I don't think I've done this since we started the series, but just to cover how I normally play and what game settings I typically play with. And the reason why I'm coming back over here is because I've been reconsidering the time scale at which I normally play. Normally I play with a time scale set at 3x, just to give me enough time with in a day to get certain things done when the clock is not moving too fast and I don't run out of time with most of the tasks that I'm trying to get accomplished during a game day. What I've been thinking about doing though is bumping that up just a little bit, just to speed up some of the more, just some of the things that are happening, because I think one of the issues that I'm running into in this series is we're taking too long and too much time to get certain things done in order to progress so that we can have more money in the bank, if you will. So I'm thinking about bumping up the speed at which I play to either 5x or 6x, or at least about twice the rate that I normally play. And this time scale just affects how quickly the clock advances when we're in the game day. Going back to settings, I'm not going to change the days per month. Again, I normally play at 2 days per month, and The way to think of it with 2 day months is you think of day one being in actual real time. That would be the first through the 15th of the month, or there, generally speaking, thereabouts. With day two being the 16th through the 30th, the 16th through the end of the month, or how many days would be in an actual month. And that's kind of how you kind of would have to math it out with 2 day months. And if you're playing with a different setting for how many days per month, you'd kind of have to do the math. With 3 days, I'm not a math guy, so I'd have to sit down and calculate that. But you would just take the 30 days in a month divided by three to get what the actual, just to get a general idea in your head of how many days of a real month would expire if you're playing a 3 day month. Same with 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can go all the way up here and see what the increments are, until you actually have a full, one-to-one situation with the months. And I'm not that hardcore, so we definitely would not play with real time months. We kind of want it to happen, where things are moving along at a brisk pace, and that's why I had the 2 day month with the 3x time scale. But now just kind of running into this thing where most of the time these things are running too slow. I know that it'll impact me on some of the more uh, time consuming tasks, but we got to pick up the pace just a little bit, I think, on the series. Um, we finally had another map released in our mod hub as well. We had a map called Riverview that released. That's a European map. That don't think that's a US map if I'm not mistaken. And again, right now I'm still gonna run this series, like I said, between looking at probably, I think I said about 75 to 100 episodes. Not entirely sure yet what the final number will be, and we'll kind of play that by year. But I'll keep my eyes on what the community says on social media about making suggestions as to any other maps you would want to see. We have a few maps out now, so there are a few options as it comes around to us playing on another map. My preference would still be for playing on a US map, and the only other US map that we got out right now is a Frankenmuth map, and there's enough people playing on that map right now that I'm not really interested in uh, going doing a series on that map right now, because that one will already have a number of people already running that one, and running that one to death online. So even if I did kind of switch up when we did a series on that, we'd still be kind of running the same issue that you run into here with the Riverbend Springs map, in that there's a ton of content creators out there already doing stuff on that particular map as well, so you won't really be doing anything that new. Kind of like I've alluded to before, the biggest thing that's going to make everybody's series different at this point is not necessarily the map that they're playing on. It's going to be more so the things that they're doing on the series, and the mods that they're using on the series. And I think that's kind of what's going to be the thing with this series as well. Eventually, once we get to this point, what's the limiter being right now is our financial situation. So, and that kind of ties back into me bumping up the time scale thing here a little bit as well, as we need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit and speed that up. And so that's why I'm going there and doing that a little bit. So jumping back to our contracts, I thought we had, did I finish one and forgot about activating another one while I was talking here, didn't I? I sure did. We got a $1,600 holding contract that just popped up, so we're going to go ahead and take that one as well. That's on 55. All right, so let's get our tractor fired up and go ahead and take that contract. And I just knocked my way over. There we go. Brilliant. Or, by Jove, I think he's got it. Alright, so let's get our... And what's our field? Our field is 55. All right, so set destination. We are looking for field 55, and 55 is over here to the right. And let's go ahead and set a target by AI, and it should be able to make that drive without too much trouble. Allegedly. Then we're gonna jump around and just keep a quick eye on our other two contractors. All right, and keeping an eye on the time. It's 20:55, about to be 2100 hours, so still late in the evening here on day one in May. Not super late, but we're starting to get there, and you can kind of see that from the number of or lack of daylight we have right now. Contracts, nothing too serious. It's just taking the time, or the amount of time it takes to work our way through them, and they're not quick, easy, or instant. So there's that. So we just gotta go through the processes here. I can go ahead and turn that off, actually. Then we just kind of ride with this Case IH Puma as he makes his way to the destination for this particular contract, and he has arrived. Let's go ahead and get him lined up and hire a worker, and away we go. All right, so that work is fired up, started up, and now it's just kind of well, we can see we got one finished on 44. Beautiful thing. All right, so let's hop back over to our contracts here on the active side and see what we have on deck. We got a few fertilizing deals, a couple of weeding deals. Those are too small. By the time I hire a worker, most of my money will be ate up in fees for leasing and paying the worker, so that's won't make much off of this. This one here, 1341, a little bit more, but still kind of the same deal. I can take the fertilizing contracts, but I'll pick those up later because I can do those with my own equipment. Those are pretty quick. Not going to mess with the dead wood deals. Too time consuming. So we have these two baling deals and then bale wrapping. That one is a no. This one is a yes. We'll start with the baling, and we'll go with the largest one first and work our way back from there. It'll take a little time, the baling contracts will, because we have to do those manually, but it shouldn't be, at least hopefully they won't be terribly time consuming. We're about to find out though. All right, the first one is Farmland 51. let's set our destination. Where would 51 be? 51 is over in this direction. All right. Oh, we've been on this field before. Speaking of the thing about contracts popping up on the same fields. Alright, so we've sent this AI worker to 51. We just gotta wait on him to make that drive. And there's that. Oh, excuse me. Kind of maxed out on contracts now, so we can't really take up anything else until those are finished out. I guess while we're kind of having those things play out, we can take a peek at our animals to see what we have going on there. All of our animals are in need of, at least to the point where we can kind of top off their food. So there's that for each of them. But we'll wait until the next business day before we do that, because they're, even though the levels are down, they're still all in the green. So we'll keep that as something to get knocked out here once we advance the day. And that's pretty much it for right now. We're just going to work the contracts that are on the table today, and then we'll see where we're at tomorrow. Again, watching the clock, 21:11 now, so we're rapidly running out of time for this particular day. All right, looks like we have our baler is on site, so let's fire this thing up and let's get to rocking and rolling here. All right, start engine. Turn on baler. Turn on lower automatic drop. Hit B to lower pickup. And yes, we know it's reserved for contract work there. AI. We can use steering assist on this contract, can we? Let's see. I don't see, yeah, the grid's not popping up, it's not giving me the grid, so I don't know if we can do it, or at least get it to work or not. I got it set to steering assist. Yeah, it says no field detected. Apparently we can only use the AI assist on all fields. Interesting. since this is a manual situation here, the baling contract, we're just gonna have to walk the dog with the gear while we work our way through this particular baling contract. And this is something that unfortunately we cannot automate. Gotta do it as best that we can. Don't want to lose too much material, but at the same time, leaving material on the field might not be that big of a deal. Although that will all depend on how much material they give us in order to complete the number of bales that is required to establish completion. That the contract is complete. Alright, let's pick up the track here. Spacing out there. The line was literally a million miles away just that quickly. Apologies on that, guys. Alright, we got another bill about ready to drop here. Ready when they pop the chute, kick it out. We're just gonna wait for the door to close before we stop picking it back up. Right now, it's a little bit concerning to me that we're missing some decent little spots of material here, and I just hope that that's not enough to where it impedes me having the ability to complete this contract. Of course, I think that's the case, but leaving enough material behind, I'm sure it will certainly add up. that's a fixture up there. I already know that's going to be a problem, so we have to move this bale out the way and get to this material. And excuse me guys, as is normally the case when I go live, I don't have any voice issues or anything like that to it. I get on and go live and go on the hold now. Everything wants to act up. Never fails. So we just got to be as focused as we can here, quickly get this contract knocked out, and me being distracted. It's slowing up pace because we can make this contract be done rather quickly if we focus on the task at hand. The main thing, I just got to remember to slow down when this thing is beeping so we don't go too far and we can be able to stop and kick out a bell when it reaches that point. And if I do this properly, then I don't have to go backtrack to pick up this material, which in and of itself will be time saving. Alright, almost there. And I still got to master the art of gaming and talking at the same time, and gaming while talking at the same time, and actually paying attention to what's happening in the game and not having it to the point of talking and it's causing me to make mistakes in game. That lined up. Yes, that's good. Again, missed it. I don't think we have it in the game, but in real life, there's another piece of equipment that you have on your tractor during the time when you're baling. I forget what it's called, but I know it's a piece of equipment that's used for bumping bales around that you have on the front end of your tractor to help with kind of moving your bales around when you don't necessarily have a front loader attachment or something like that. All right, let's see. We ought to be close now. Not even. All right. And that's the thing about these manual contracts. You can't really just blaze through them. You can't set the AI. You just gotta complete the task, and it takes a little time. And mostly due to the nature of these bailing deals, that's gonna eat up a majority of our time at night. And I'm not quite at the point yet in game where we have so much other stuff going that I can kind of ignore contracts and kind of pick and choose what I want to pick up. Not yet, but once we get a couple more production chains going here, and we have production chains that provide inputs to other production chains, we can kind of eliminate some of that. The other thing I was thinking about that I haven't really done yet that we definitely want to get on as well here in this Farming Simulator 25 series is the greenhouses. We haven't even touched on that yet. There's new greenhouses, there's new crops that we put in the greenhouses, and we haven't done anything with any of the new crops that were introduced in Farming Simulator 25. Most notable being rice is now being added to the game. There's a whole set of things that have to be done surrounding the harvesting of rice, and I haven't even tested with it yet, so I'm not sure yet whether we would do anything with the rice at the moment on this, at least on this live series, until I get a little bit more familiar with how it works. And we actually have a rice field in play, but we don't have that because we're not really doing. Number one, we don't own that many fields, and number two, we're not doing that many crops yet. We're right now just doing grass farming for silage, TMR, and other related products. And we'll soon be dialing up, which reminds me of something I totally forgot about, and I hope I didn't blow it. It just hit me on the crop calendars. I want to make sure we're not missing our window for a crop calendar for getting barley planted. Barley's in September. But we're going to flip one of our grass fields into barley. The planting cycle rolls around the barley, and that barley will be used for taking care of the chickens, and also once the chickens are taken care of, we may consider selling some of the overstock, but we'll have to see how that all plays out once we get that process started up. But we're still a few months out now. Just gotta remember to keep that on the top of the dome, if you will, to make sure that I'm paying attention to where we at in the months. Oh, we got off track there, so gotta line that back up. Alright, we're doing so well for a moment or two, but now we're getting close, so Excuse me. Let's see if we can clean up this little bit of material here. See, this is a perfect scenario where if we had the little bell bumping device on the front of the tractor, kind of getting this bell out of the way here would be child's play. Alright, put some of this material there. Let's come back around and get lined up properly here. Away we go. Alright, anyway, just about got this one wrapped up, which is a good thing. See, 1.5%, so I need to kick out one more bill here, and we're right on the edge of that, so it should have it. All right, there we are, contract finished. So let's go to contracts and let's finish everyone that's on the table. Go back and look at our balance. We're up to $231,000, $449. And what are we looking like on time? We're up to 22:21 right now. So in terms of contracts, this is what we still have out there. Got a $7,900 bail wrapping one. That's obviously one we want to pick up. Another $3,596 bailing one. Kind of thinking about the time commitment to that one. And these two fertilizing, those are easy breezy. In fact, we'll dial those two up for sure. And for those, we're just going to do accept contract because we'll be using our own equipment for both of those. Accept contract. And that little $800 one. That's not even worth me burning gas to get there. Well, we'll go ahead and borrow items for the baling contract, and let's start there with the bale wrapping. And we at least got to send this one to the proper location for the contract, and I already forgot. All right, 84. All right, again, that is a familiar location, is it not? All right, I guess we can kind of work on getting those contracts knocked out. All right, so we have you for the fertilizing deal. It's fertilizer. Fertilizer. Tank. That's one. Fuel sprayer. It's just we don't want to be at risk of running out. Let's go fill up some more liquid fertilizer. All right, so all right, start filling with the fertilizer. And where is our destination? Let's start with 64. All right, where was 64? Yeah, definitely 64. All right, so that target is in play. And while that guy is driving to his destination, let's get started on our baling. Oh, forgot about the fertilizer guy. So let's go ahead and get him started up. You know, saying that like this, not my guy, but this is going to be my contract. So still want to hire a worker for it. Let's go ahead and do that here. All right. Well, we got a few more bills to get wrapped up here, and we can finish this contract. And then we'll be done with the baling contract. The bale wrapping contract. Excuse me. I think in the interest of time, you might skip that other baling contract. Even though it does have a nice payout. Got 2 over there, 3 over here, so 5 more to go. All right, 1 more to go, allegedly. All right, let's collect on that bale wrapping contract. And now we'll just do those 2 fertilizing deals. And I think that's where we'll kind of wrap it up. Well, we'll skip this baling as much as I don't want to. We'll skip that. And same for some of these others here. And that way we can just kind of move things along here. Oh, my spraying contract is, why is he checking out? He says he's completed his task. Let's see. We have to turn off some filters here. No, he missed a spot. Let's see if we can manually square that one away. Let's do it this way. Right there. And why is it saying I don't have access to this land? All right, I guess that's a moot point. All right. Oh, it's considered that I already completed it. Okay. Collect. And so we can go ahead and send out this one to, what is that, 67? 57. All right, set destination 57. Ah, goodness. Great. It's very close nearby. How are we doing on time tonight? 9:22. All right. So unfortunately, we've kind of burned most of this episode up with working on these contracts, and that's just going to be the bulk of it tonight. So hopefully on Wednesday we'll have enough money in our coffers where we can kind of work on doing a lot of these things that I've been talking about for a while now. My mods that I've been waiting on are finally in the mod hub. Even a few things that I wasn't looking at popped up in there. And mods that I kind of forgot about that I used in Farming Simulator 22 that are going to be great to use in the Farming Simulator 25 version of those mods. So we got a lot of things coming up here. We're going to definitely remodel and reshape our main farm. And as I've talked about before in the past, we're definitely going to expand our operations. And I'm still trying to hold off from doing loans because that was the overall theme of the series anyway, is doing it organically and not with a bunch of bank loans, even though that's not unrealistic for a farmer to take out loans for his operation. I don't know how normal or abnormal that would be. But for this series, we're trying to do it without, one of the main things is doing it all without bank loans. And right now, sorry about that. We're just kind of practicing a little bit of radio silence here while we kind of watch the worker do his thing and let the worker go to work. Just about got that one done. What's our percentage now? We are sitting at, what's the number? 87%. This one should be wrapped up in a few seconds here. There it is. And that's the beauty of the fertilizing contracts. And it definitely were crucial in Farming Simulator 22. And we got more of them. 25 has been a little different when it comes to those. Those are usually the way that you made enough money to build up your farm working contracts because of the financial gain you get from doing them, at least profits, I guess we should say. All right, we collected our fund proceeds from that last fertilizing contract, and let's take a quick look at the contract screen. Right now we got that baling contract on 90, but I'm not going to touch that. We're going to go ahead and advance the day. Once our guy gets back on the main farm, we'll call it a wrap. And we're looking at the time, 23:38. We're doing it at a pretty good time too. All right, and there she is, man, and she's a beauty. That's the main farm, and it's going to be even better once we get some of these projects going that I got dialed up in my head, at least. All right, let's park our tractor here in a better spot. Yes, and I will do some testing off camera. I think I definitely want to figure in placement of the greenhouses and stuff like that. Well, I was testing before. I kind of juggled around placing them in this area here, but that's somewhat subject relative to the placement of some of these other buildings on the farm, because this barn, that shed, and this shed are going to go away and be replaced with some other more modernized buildings. But those buildings have very large footprints, unfortunately, or fortunately. But since I love those buildings, I would say it's fortunate. We just got to make sure that one, we have enough money in the bank to make those purchases. Like the main one here, let's go take a peek real quick. Is that 3-star? Tubes. Oh, just on the tubes. Is it 3-star? Oh, it's American. No, it's Metal Garage. It's not that. American Midwest Maintenance Shop is what it is. That was at the 3-star. See, now I'm confused. All right, again, I think we talked about this before. I always get those two mixed up. It's the American Midwest Maintenance Shop, I think. That wasn't 3-star. All right. And that's a big difference too, because if we do American Midwest Maintenance Shop is 200,000. The 3-star garage is only 85,000. I think we did. I think the blueprint that I was testing was actually placing both of those buildings, like having one over in this area and then the other one kind of in that area. But then, yeah, because I could literally put this one, especially once we clear out some of this forestry stuff here. I can't delete that fence, unfortunately, because we could have that run. And there's a little building here that I can't get rid of. That one, this little building right here. The game won't allow me to delete that. It won't allow me to delete this fencing here. But I can remove this shed, and we're going to sell this shed, and we'll sell this shed over here. In fact, really, we could go ahead and move this shed right now. Anyways, I don't even know why we still kind of have it sitting there in place. Demolition mode. Move. Yeah, because we already know that's going to be gone anyways. Really, we could do both of these right now. Because we already know where we want to go as far as the farm development is concerned. And since that we got those out of the way, we can kind of come in here and do some light forestry work too. We can go ahead. We're going to take this. Do you want to go ahead and take this tree out here? I noticed we did. Excuse me. Let's see. Because we can come all the way up here to this fence. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this big boy out. Even though we got some hill stuff going on here. Now, where's that other little shed that I was looking at? So when I got rid of that other shed, did it take the other shed with it? I didn't. Oh, that was unexpected. All right, so let's get our chainsaw here. Select switch hand to, and we got a crouch, and that's Y on Xbox, which took me a while to figure out how to do that on here on the Xbox. And we'll go ahead and cut this tree. And we'll be feeding all of this stuff to the sawmill. And this is kind of like in anticipation. We're kind of thinking ahead here now of um, remodeling the farm and putting down some different sheds. All right. And that's all we want to do for the moment. Let's take a, speaking of sawmill, let's take a look and see what we got going on there with our production chains anyways. Mm. And there you can see the grass, which we loaded up on our last grass harvest that I did off camera into our fermenting silo and what's happening there. We don't have a source of straw yet because we don't have a crop that grows straw yet or creates straw yet, but we will. And hopefully we won't run out of straw anytime soon until we've had opportunity to do a harvest and start producing our own straw. But if not, we're not that far away from being at that point. Sawmill down to 90%. And we should have produced a couple of more pallets by now. No, we have not yet. All right. I think that's about it on this particular day. So we can go ahead and advance the day. Let's make our way over to the farmhouse. And we'll go ahead and rest it up and move on to the next day. Now we're on day 2 in May. We had a great demand at Gold Crest Valley, which is basically the railroad sell point. And let's see what we're looking like on our sawmill production, down 89%. Excuse me. And we have some more plank pallets generated. And see what we have today. We have wood beam, wood beams and planks generated. All right, let's go ahead and fire up our handy dandy telehandler here. And we'll grab our wood beam. I think today we'll do something a little bit different. Because what I want to do is we are going to try to work multiple projects here at the same time. Let's do this. I want to make sure I'm giving each project exactly what it needs, and then any extras that we have, we'll use that to feed a different project, and that way we're kind of being laser focused on every project that we have out here on the map, and still make money doing it. At least that's the thought process I'm kind of thinking of right now. Excuse me. All right. I'm still kind of thinking in the back of my mind. I want to figure out, and it's just kind of driving me nuts in the back of my brain, like what mod broke the liftable pallets mod. It may not even be something that I did. It might be something that Giants did. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. Because the only way you could truly troubleshoot it, at least logically, would be to uninstall every mod that you have installed, then reinstall mods, starting with the liftable pallets, and then you would drop in every other mod one at a time and then come and load the game and see if anything's changed. But that would still be super tedious because you have to wait for a pallet to be generated before you can really do a true test. Because existing, when you install the liftable pallets mods, it doesn't impact existing pallets. It's only newly generated pallets. It could be done, but it would take a lot of time to do a true test. Okay, so got those loaded up, and let me while we're here for amusement purposes, let's go check one thing here. We're kind of time travel over here to the spot, and I just want to check something real quick here. Visit the playground hall, and it's asking for 6,000 wood beam and 12,000 rope right now before we go to the next stage. The playground, the wagon project, we have 4,599 planks and 2,047 long planks in storage. And again, looking at the what's required for one wagon, what do we have there? Let's see here. Excuse me, one toy tractor, I should say, is 8,000 plank and 2,000 long planks. Excuse me. So it's 8,400 in 2016. So we have half of what we need for another wagon to be created. So we'll definitely bring in the long planks. The long planks will bring that project up to speed. And 6,000 wood beam, and we have only one pallet of wood beam loaded up at the moment. So we definitely want to wait until one more is generated before we move to make another delivery. So that way we kind of meet the requirements for both of those projects. And really the same thing with the planks, because we really would want to have at least four plank pallets and 2 wood beam. None of the projects require none of the projects require long planks at this time, because we've met the requirements of long planks for the toy tractor at this point in time. So it's not, we don't need to give it any more long planks yet. Although I'll probably still go ahead and drop off at least one there. I might drop off both of them there, and then that way that'll already be in storage with it starting off the next cycle of the tractor. All right, so let's quickly cycle into taking care of the animals. We'll start with our cattle. We already know they need feed. I don't have to look at them to know that. Know enough days have cycled through. Then we'll start with our barley of chickens and running low in that. So I know it's 1,000 liters, but let's see. how far that goes before we can purchase any more. Alright, for this we gotta put the tip side to the rain door. That's 1,000 barley, and that's, they took all of that, so we gotta go buy barley. And that's for our chickens, so we'll get some barley from the shop. And barley. And that sets us back $9,000. And our chickens fed this time around. Should max it out now. There we go, barley. Leftover back in storage, rinse and repeat. And next up, we want to look at taking on, let's see, let's do cows, I think. Yeah, we'll do the cows, but we'll start with just filling up some straw for cows. And normally we would be dropping off straw for the pigs and the cows, but the pigs, pig pen holds a ridiculous amount of straw. I'm not at this point even sure entirely what the max amount of straw that pig pen will hold, and it's such a large number. But due to that issue, I've loaded more than enough straw for what they need on a regularly generating basis at this point, so we won't have to top them off for quite some time. Okay, next up, let's do our total mix ration. And we're getting close to the end of tonight's episode, and as we get closer to that point, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and checking me out tonight. I know it's still kind of a bit repetitive right now with what we're doing, but that won't be happening that much longer. We're definitely gonna pick up the pace here a little bit now as we move towards getting our funds up and getting the buildings on the farm placed or replaced in this particular case, and get some of these production chains placed and up and going. And also continuing to work on these, I guess we can call them capital projects on the map as well. Making a little bit more money now. We're getting back up now. We're 249K. All right, what else we got? We got the cows covered. We knocked those out, the cows out. We need pig feed. I don't think we did pig feed yet. Pigs don't need straw. Let's recycle that. Yeah, pig food. 46 liters, so if we're going to buy some pig food, that's going to be expensive as well. Pig food. Probably going to be more than that. Oh yeah, 30 grand. Ouch. Alright, definitely gonna have to work on getting the production for pig foods soon at some point as well. Okay, so next up, let's do our sheep. So we need our grass for the sheep. We have 0 liters of grass in silo presently, so we will be pulling our grass from the fermenting silo. I guess we need to go ahead and pave over here because we always drive in that way, so definitely that would not, grass would still not be growing there if we're driving over here like that on a regular basis. So make sure we adjust the tip side here, having those collision issues that we had previously here when dumping. This facility is not friendly to high lift dump trailers. All right, so as far as our animals is concerned, we've taken care of each one of them now. At least their current needs. All right. So here we are tonight. Yeah, this is about. We're gonna do a. Ooh, this trailer is really easy to tip over. Like it's not very balanced at all. Um, what was that? Well, we're coming up on the edge or end of tonight's episode. We're gonna run a few minutes over due to that delayed start situation. But still try to keep it concise because I think that took us over about 3 or 4 minutes late getting started here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, checking me out tonight. You've been tuned in to another episode of Lowe's 831 Gaming, live on Twitch, playing Farming Simulator 25. We've been on the Riverbend Springs map tonight. I am Bose831 Gaming on most of your major social media platforms. I'm on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Just can't do it. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. Episodes of my live stream series will be uploaded to my YouTube channel in their entirety, typically in their entirety. Wherever you're running across my content, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. The only way I can get better and provide the content that you want to see is with your feedback, and your feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you love. Let me know what you don't. But either way, let me know. Again, the only way I can get better at this and provide you with the content that you want to see is with your feedback. That's pretty much all I got for right now. Let's go ahead and do our screenshot. I guess we can kind of do a closing screenshot right here on this screen, actually, right there. Let's do it. I could have had my avatar step out and then do one shot from this camera angle here. All right, come on, dude. All right, I just want to turn and face the camera. Can we get him to do that? Apparently not. So let's I have to bring the camera around to him. Oh, there we go. It's much like rocket science. Yeah, I might just do this one. And then I get a little, yeah, I like that. Look at the camera, man. I want to look at the camera. Let's do that one. In fact, we can probably go in there and clean up some of those other screenshots. Yeah, that's a good one. But hey, this has been fun. As you can see, we kind of rock and roll tonight. We did not run into any of the issues we had on the last episode, and that's good. Even though we didn't do that much forestry, so there was no potential for it. But all I've been running some forestry stuff off camera and hadn't uh, to this point since that initial incident we had during the last live. I hadn't encountered anything even remotely close. Well, I won't say remotely, but anything close to that. As always with forestry and logging and these farming simulator games, like I said at the start of this episode, there's always some occasional buggy stuff that happens with the logs and with the game physics and all of that, but that's one of the worst ones I've seen ever. uh, but glad we had a clean episode, if you will, tonight. Uh, and hopefully we'll get more of those kind of episodes in the future. But again, wrapping it up. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bose 831 Gaming live on Twitch, Farming Simulator 25. And we are out. I will catch you on the flip side. Have a good night, everyone. And like I always say, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? And I will catch you on the flip side.